And as we were talking about that, the memorial continues to grow outside of Turning Point headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona. But obviously concern over the temperature rising about political violence. And we're seeing some of that today. And this, a post on social media from Fox News saying, Justin, a man has been arrested after vandalizing the Charlie Kirk Memorial outside of TPUSA headquarters in Arizona. The suspect identified as a 19-year-old Ryder Corral there. So we're also getting this video that I want to show you of some of this because we've been diving into the latest with just some of this memorial growing. But this was the scene that was captured by Fox News a little bit earlier on. You can see people addressing this individual, potentially vandalizing what was going on there with this memorial, people stepping in, just average citizens, not necessarily law enforcement, but ultimately law enforcement did get involved as this suspect identified as a 19-year-old, as a man is arrested. So you can see police, Phoenix police there on hand, putting this individual in handcuffs or zip ties just across the street as so much has grown since Wednesday. And we saw the initial outpouring for Charlie Kirk, the conservative commentator there in Arizona, a group that he founded a dozen years ago, co-founded a dozen years ago. Obviously, you see this individual now being let off is the memorial balloons, flowers, flags showcased on hand. And that is concerned potentially for next week. Any outside agitators, that is a kind of term that police, law enforcement have been using, but obviously concern in terms of that with the memorial that's going to be taking place next week in Glendale, Arizona, a very large venue, the NFL stadium of the Arizona Cardinals. Again, a live picture right there at that venue, but we're seeing different memorials pop up. This was the scene of where that initial vandalism, the arrest took place earlier on today. It has quieted down a significant margin, but just the amount of outpouring of support for those that obviously backed Charlie Kirk, stood for what he also believed in. So we're following it closely here on Live Now from Fox.
These people are evil, man. These people are demonic. We have demons that are walking among us, which is insane to say because I always found it kind of funny when I would hear like Christians recite online, like, demons walk among us and stuff like that. But after the recent passing of Charlie Kirk, this has really shown me that, maybe that is true. Maybe we do have demons that are walking among us, because what other reason would you do? They already laughed at the fact that he was killed in front of his family. They made videos, they made videos, they made comments online, they made jokes, posters with him and his neck blown off, saying like debate this, like. So these people have already done all this stuff, and now you have people that are trying to honor his legacy, what he stood for, and you have people like this who are truly evil, disgusting people come and trash a vigil, a memorial place. And then when he's arrested, he's being walked away by the cops and he's smiling because he's proud of what he did. That is demonic behavior, my friends. There is no other explanation but to call that demonic. What else would you call that if not demonic behavior? I don't have any other word. These people can't even let other people honor somebody who might have made a change in their life peacefully. That is insane. And honestly, I think the cops saved that kid from a fucking beating. Because I think had the cops not been there, they would have beat the shit out of that dude right then and there. Those people that were there, that is so fucked up, man. But to them, it's like, obviously everybody on the right is literally Hitler and the Nazis. So to them, it's like, to them, desecrating Charlie Kirk's memorial is like desecrating, Hitler's fucking grave or something. That's what it is to them. It doesn't matter. And again, it's all about the cause. The cause is more important than anything else. That kid is going to get arrested. I mean, he was arrested. He might get his charges dropped depending on what kind of leftist DA. If he gets a leftist DA in Arizona, They might drop the charges, might just give him community service or something. I don't know. But this is extremely sad and tough to watch. And it's just, there's nothing else to say but the fact that, but just to see that there literally are demons that are walking among us as humans. And this event, this global event, because it's not just an American thing. I've seen videos, and I'll probably do a video on it about all the tributes that have been going on for Charlie. But I've seen videos of people in Europe holding vigils for Charlie. People in Japan. What the fuck does Japan have anything to do with an American political figure? But that just goes to show you how much influence and how beloved Charlie was as a person. And how positive a lot of people viewed his message. Because he wasn't a hateful person. And they're like, oh, Charlie's a racist. Charlie's a bigot. Charlie's this, that, and the third. But they can't find one instance of Charlie saying anything hateful. Does he have opinions that they disagree with? Sure. Like, he doesn't believe in transgenderism and gay marriage and all that stuff. But that's not inherently hateful. He just doesn't believe in it. Because he was a man of the Bible. He was a man of God. And I'm sure he's up there with God now. But yeah, they were doing shit in other countries that have nothing to do with the United States. That's how important Charlie was. And that's, you know I said that we have demons walking among us, which we do. But then we have so many good people all across the planet that are willing to come together for a cause. And show that just having opinions is not a reason to get killed over. What happened to Charlie should never happen. Charlie wasn't a politician, and I'll say this over and over again. Charlie wasn't in charge of policy. Charlie wasn't, he didn't have any kind of power. And his rhetoric wasn't insane. He just had conversations with college students. He was very respectful. He would tell them, this is how I feel, this is what it is. These are the statistics, this, and that. And it was too much for the left, for leftists, so they had to go ahead and kill him. And they're trying to claim that the killer was right-wing because he comes from a Mormon family or whatever the case may be. But that's simply not true. He was already found to have a transgender girlfriend. And I'll do a video on that as well. He was already found to have a transgender girlfriend. And all the stuff that he referenced was all about, like, anti-fascism. And what is it that Democrats do? They call the Republicans fascists. All Republicans are fat. And this is the reason why. Because to a fascist, when you demonize and you dehumanize your opposition by calling them fascists, and you know the fascists are bad, then you can justify doing anything to a fascist, right? And it's kind of, the irony is not lost on itself, right? The quote-unquote anti-fascists killed the man over his opinions. That's fascist as shit. But I hope this guy gets I hope he gets what he deserves. But I don't really have too much faith in our justice system, especially, with these leftist judges and leftist DAs. So he might just get a slap on the wrist. But it would be nice to hear that he gets the punishment he deserves, and maybe he'll learn a lesson. But evil people are just going to be evil no matter what. But that's all I got for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. And if you got anything you want me to react to, my email is in the description box below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.